like this, something like that. All you do in those scenarios is you set up an integral from 0 to 1, and if they don't give you two y values, usually there's two y equations, the second one is going to be always the x-axis. Do you remember what the equation for the x-axis is? It is y equals 0. So what you got to do is you got to pick in a number between 0 and 1. You got to pick a number between 0 and 1, plug it into your function, and if it's greater than 0, then you write down, it's always the top function minus the bottom function for area. Okay? So if I plug in a 1/2, for instance, what is 1/2 cubed? 1/8, okay. Is that greater than 0 or less than 0? So therefore, would that be the top function or the bottom function? If the other function is 0, and we just found the y value above it, so it would be the top one, dude. No, the top. Because, okay, look, what we just did was we picked an x value of 1/2. The x-axis is right here, okay? The x-axis is this line. And when you plugged in a 1/2 for the other function, you were trying to see were you above the axis or below, and you got a 1/8, which is above. The y value of 1/8 is above 0. Do you agree with that? So because it's above, it's the top function. So you would do x cubed minus 0. Had it been below, it would be 0 minus x cubed. And then you integrate that. How do you integrate x cubed? Evaluated between 0 and 1. Excuse me. And you always plug in the top bound minus the bottom bound. There's your answer. Okay? Okay, I'm going to give you a second to try it on your own first. So what number can we plug in? And when I plug in 1, what do I get? Good. What conclusion? Therefore? No. That's what we just, that's why we just tested that point. So when we plugged in a 1, we found a -3. So it's less than 0. 0 is the other function. So therefore, y equals x squared minus 4 is the bottom. Had you gotten a +3, it would be on top. Do you understand what we're doing? What we're doing is we're comparing y equals 0, which is the x-axis, and y equals x squared minus 4. When I plugged into here 1, I got what? -3. When you plug in 1 into 0, what do you get? 0. Which one's larger? That one, so it's on top, and then this one's on bottom. Do you see it? So then you would write 0 minus, now don't forget this parentheses. A lot of people forget this parentheses because it's minus the whole function. So then you get from 0 to 2, distribute that negative sign through, and then when you integrate, what do you get? When you integrate that, what do you get? Sure. When you integrate that, what do you get? Antiderivative. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then between 0 and 2, so which one do you plug in first? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be 8 minus 8 over 3. And then when you plug in a 0, you're going to get a 0 for the right side. So what do I do now? Mm-hmm. So find a... No, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Find a common denominator. Uh-huh. Okay?